Have you ever noticed that your cat can sleep silently in the same familiar corner for hours, as if nothing in the world matters at all? You leave the house, go to work, go shopping, meet someone, or simply disappear from their sight for a long stretch of time. The house stays quiet. The chair is still there, the water bowl is still there, sunlight still falls across the floor like it does every day. But the moment your key touches the lock, the moment your familiar footsteps sound outside the door, that cat suddenly appears. They may come out from behind the sofa, from the end of the hallway, from the corner of the bed, or from a place where you thought they had been sleeping deeply for hours. Their tail rises high, their eyes open wide, their ears turn toward you. Some cats will let out a tiny meow. Some will rub their head against your legs. Some will simply stand there and stare as if they are making sure the person they have been waiting for has finally come home. And most of us just smile, bend down to pet them once, then keep walking inside. We put down our bags, check our phone, change clothes, and continue with the usual routine of the day. But you may have just walked past one of the most sincere moments your cat gives you all day. Because to a cat, waiting for you at the door is not just a cute little habit. It is not random. It is not only because they heard a sound. Behind that tiny moment are so many things your cat cannot say out loud. And once you understand them, you may never walk through your front door the same way again. The first thing to understand is this: cats do not greet everyone in the same way. A delivery person may ring the bell, a neighbor may stop by, a stranger may step into the house, but your cat may not come out to greet them.
Hey, meow.
They may hide, watch from a distance, or simply ignore them completely. But with you, it is different. They hear the familiar sound, they recognize the familiar scent, they feel the familiar rhythm of your steps, and they know it is you. That difference says a lot. You are not just someone who lives in the same house. You are not only the person who fills their food bowl, changes their water, cleans their litter box, or gives them a warm place to sleep. In your cat's small world, you are someone special. Someone they have quietly remembered, quietly trusted, and quietly placed in a position that no one else can replace. Cats do not give their trust easily. They are extremely sensitive to their surroundings, to sounds, to movement, and to human behavior. A cat can live with many people in the same house, but that does not mean they bond with everyone equally. They may choose one person to sleep near, one person to follow, one person to call for, and one person who makes them feel safest. So if your cat often comes to the door to greet you, it means that in their heart, you have become an important part of their sense of safety. You may think your cat simply got used to seeing you come home every day, but the deeper truth is, they have learned how to wait for you. Through every day you left and came back, through every morning you closed the door behind you, through every afternoon or evening you returned home. Your cat slowly built a connection with you. They do not understand how complicated your outside life is. They do not know how many meetings you had, how many people you talked to, or what made you tired. But they understand one simple thing: you left, and they wanted you to come back. One of the clearest signs when your cat greets you is the raised tail. To many people, it just looks cute. But in feline body language, a tail held straight up is a beautiful signal. It often means friendliness, trust, and a feeling of safety. When your cat walks toward you with their tail raised high, it is almost as if they are saying, "I am glad you are here. I am not afraid of you. I want to come closer." This matters because cats are not animals that always show emotion loudly. They do not jump up and down like dogs. They do not wag their tails wildly. They do not throw themselves into your arms with all their strength. Cats express affection in much more subtle ways. A tail held high, a gentle rub against your ankle, a soft little sound, a slow look. These are all quiet sentences in your cat's world. If you are not paying attention, you may miss them. But once you understand, you realize that your cat is greeting you in one of the most sincere ways they know. You may also notice your cat walking around your legs as soon as you step inside. Sometimes they rub against your pants, press their head against your foot, or walk so close to you that it almost feels like they are trying to slow you down. That is not only them being needy. For cats, scent is a huge part of belonging. When you come home from outside, you carry many unfamiliar smells with you. the smell of the street, the car, the office, other people, and all the places you have been. When your cat rubs against you, they are mixing their scent with yours. It is as if they are saying, "You are home now. You belong here. You belong in my safe place." It may sound simple, but for a cat, this is a bonding ritual. They have no way to ask where you've been. They cannot say, "You smell different today." They cannot say, "I want you to become part of this home again." So they use their body to do it. They touch you. They mark you. They bring you back into their familiar map of scent. In your cat's mind, this is not possession in a negative way. It is confirmation. Their person has returned. Some cats also make a very special sound when you open the door. Not a long demanding meow for food. Not an annoyed cry. It may be a tiny trill, a soft roll-in sound, almost like a gentle greeting. Many cat owners have heard this sound before, but not everyone understands how precious it is. Cats do not use every sound with every person. Some vocalizations only appear when they feel safe enough, close enough, and willing enough to communicate with you. Just think about that for a moment. A creature that does not speak human language cannot say, "I missed you." It cannot ask, "How was your day?" It cannot tell you how long it has been waiting. But it still tries to create a sound for you when you return. Maybe that sound is so small that you miss it while taking off your shoes. But to your cat, it is an effort to communicate. They are saying, "I know it is you. I am happy you came back. I am here." What makes this even more touching is that cats can remember your daily rhythm much better than you may realize. You may not notice that you often return home around the same time every day, but your cat notices. They observe when you leave. They feel the house become quiet. They notice the light changing across the floor. They hear the sounds outside rise or fade. They collect all those small repeated signs every day. Slowly your cat builds their own rhythm of waiting. So sometimes when you think your cat just happened to be near the door when you came home, maybe they were not there by accident. Maybe they had already moved there before you arrived. Maybe they heard tiny signs you would never notice. Maybe they had learned the time you usually return. Maybe they had lifted their head again and again, listening, waiting, lying back down, until your real sound finally came. You think you are just opening a door, but to your cat, that door is the end of a long wait. Cats do not experience time the way humans do. They do not know what 7 o'clock means. They do not understand Monday or Sunday. They cannot look at a clock and tell themselves that you are almost home. But cats can feel absence. They know when an important person is no longer in the familiar space. They know when your chair no longer carries your presence. They know when the room is missing the sound of you. They know when the places you usually sit suddenly feel emptier. And in their own quiet way, they wait for that emptiness to be filled again. This is something many cat owners underestimate. We think cats are independent, so they do not miss us. We think cats sleep all day, so they do not care. We think cats are cold, so they do not need anyone. But independence does not mean lack of feeling. Silence does not mean lack of love. And just because a cat does not cling to you all day does not mean they do not see you as an important part of their world. The truth is, cats love differently. They do not always need to touch you. They do not have to sit on your lap to love you. Sometimes they only need to lie in the same room at just the right distance. Sometimes they only need to know you are there. Sometimes they are not even staring at you, but they still know exactly where you are moving inside the house. A cat's attachment is like a thin, invisible thread. Quiet, gentle, not dramatic, but always there. And when you come home, that thread tightens for a moment, then relaxes. Your cat sees you, hears you, smells you, and their sense of safety returns. That greeting at the door is not only joy, it is also relief. As if they are checking you are still okay. You are still you. You came back whole after a day outside. And that leads to something very meaningful. Maybe your cat greets you not only because they are happy to see you, maybe they are also reading your emotional state. Cats are highly sensitive to human emotion. They can notice if your voice is lower than usual, if your footsteps feel heavier, if you open the door more slowly, or if you put your bag down harder than normal. They do not understand the whole story behind those changes, but they can sense your energy. There are days when you come home exhausted. You do not want to talk to anyone. You only want to close the door, sit down, and breathe. You may think no one notices how drained you are, but your cat may notice the second you walk in. They may look at you longer, follow you more quietly, stay closer than usual, or simply sit beside you in silence. For a cat, that may be a very deep form of care. Cats do not comfort the way humans do. They do not say everything will be okay. They do not hug you with two arms. They do not ask what happened. But sometimes they come closer when you are sad. They lie beside you when you are quiet. They place their small body near your feet, near your hands, or somewhere you can see them. They do not solve your problems, but they remind you that you are not completely alone. That is why the moment your cat waits at the door may mean far more than you think. It is a greeting. It is a confirmation. It is a quick emotional check. Are you okay? Did something happen today? Are you still the same familiar person who left this morning? If you walk in normally, they relax. If you walk in carrying stress, they may change their behavior and stay closer to you. Anyone who has lived with a cat for a long time may have felt this before. There are moments when you are sad, and your cat suddenly becomes gentler. They are not as playful as usual. They do not demand too much. They simply sit near you and look at you with those slow, quiet eyes. Maybe you once thought it was a coincidence. But if it happens again and again, maybe your cat really is reading something in you. Another important thing to understand is that cats love stability. They love familiar routines, repeated patterns, and sounds they recognize. When you become part of that routine, you become a safe point in their day. You wake up, you feed them, you say a few words, you walk to the door, you leave, then you come back. To you, that is just normal life. To your cat, that may be the structure that makes their world feel understandable. When you come home later than usual, they may become restless. When you are gone for several days, their behavior may change. Some cats may eat less, some may sleep more, some may cling to someone else. Some may act cold when you finally return, almost as if they are angry. But do not be too quick to think they do not care. Sometimes that coldness is also a reaction to emotional disruption. They waited. They did not understand why you disappeared for so long. And when you came back, they needed time to feel safe again. Cats may not show missing you in the way humans expect, but their longing can appear in very small actions. Sleeping on a shirt you left behind, resting in the place where you usually sit, waiting near the door, meowing more when you return, following you from room to room, or doing the opposite, sitting a little far away but still never taking their eyes off you. All of these can be your cat's way of saying, "I noticed you are gone." And if you have ever seen your cat run to the door, greet you, then turn around and lead you inside, that is interesting too. Many cats take a few steps ahead, then look back as if they want to make sure you are following. They may lead you to their food bowl, their favorite spot, their toy, or simply into the shared space of the home. To your cat, your return does not end at the doorway. They want you back inside the rhythm of the house, where they can see you, hear you, and feel that everything is back in place. Some cats roll onto the floor when you come home. They lie on their side, stretch out, or even show their belly. Many people see this and immediately try to rub the belly, only to get a quick scratch because they misunderstood the signal. For cats, rolling over in front of you is not always an invitation to touch their stomach. Sometimes it is a sign of trust. The belly is a vulnerable area. A cat only exposes it when they feel safe enough. They are saying, "I am comfortable with you here. I do not need to defend myself from you." Each of these little actions may seem small on its own, but when you put them together, they create a very clear picture. Your cat knows you, your cat chose you, your cat waits for you, your cat greets you, your cat checks on you, your cat brings you back into their world through scent, sound, eye contact, and presence. All of this happens within the first few seconds after you open the door, but inside those few seconds is a relationship built over many days, many returns, and many quiet moments of trust. The sad thing is, we are often too busy to see it. We come home with too many thoughts in our heads. Unanswered messages, unfinished work, bills to pay, food to prepare, tired feelings we do not know how to explain. The cat stands at the door, but we treat it like just another familiar part of the house. We think they do this every day. We think they probably just want food. We think, I can pet them later. But in your cat's eyes, that first moment when you return may matter more than you know, because their whole day may have revolved around very small things. A long nap, a look out the window, a noise in the hallway, a walk past the water bowl, a stretch of silence where the house did not have your sound in it. Then finally that familiar sound appears. You open the door, you step inside. And to them the world has its anchor again. Cats do not have many ways to keep you close. They cannot text you when you are gone too long. They cannot call and ask when you will be home. They cannot say the house felt too quiet today. They cannot tell you they lay in your spot or listen near the door. All they have is waiting, and when you finally appear, they give you everything they can in that moment. A look, a raised tail, a tiny sound, a rub against your leg. When you see it that way, your cat waiting at the door is no longer just an ordinary detail, it becomes a gentle reminder that in your busy life, there is a small living being who still places you near the center of their world. That no matter who you are outside, no matter whether your day was successful or difficult, no matter whether others noticed you or not, when you open that door, there is still a pair of eyes waiting for you to come home. And perhaps the most beautiful part is this: your cat does not need you to be perfect. They do not care how much money you made today. They do not care if you made a mistake at work. They do not care if you handled every conversation well. They only care that you came back. You are still their familiar person. You still carry that voice, that scent, that hand, that presence. And to a cat, sometimes that is enough. So the next time you open the door and see your cat standing there, slow down for a few seconds. Do not walk past them like they are just another object in the house. Bend down, look into their eyes, say something softly. Maybe they do not understand every word, but they understand your voice, they understand your breathing, they understand the attention you give them. And in a cat's world, being seen by you is also a form of love. Let them smell your hand, let them rub against your leg. Let that tiny greeting ritual be complete. Because to you it may only be a few seconds after a long day, but to them it may be the moment they have been waiting for, the moment that confirms their person is home. The house has its familiar warmth again, and everything is finally returned to where it belongs. We often think love has to be spoken clearly, but for cats, love sometimes looks like waiting by the door. It is recognizing your footsteps among all the other sounds. It is holding their tail high when you walk in. It is making one small sound when they see you. It is quietly following you into the room, then lying nearby as if nothing special just happened. But something special did happen. You came home. And for your cat, that may be enough to turn an ordinary day into a complete one. So next time the door opens and you find them there, remember this: you are not just walking into your house. You are stepping back into a quiet relationship where a small creature has been waiting for you with all the patience they have. And in that moment, no matter how loud the outside world has been, you are still the most important part of their day.